Fast, efficient, attention-grabbing. That's not just how we like our cars, it's how we like our communication. And it's what customers want when dealers communicate with them.
That's the biggest thing that customers want to know. How much and how fast can you get me back on the road? And this is probably one of the fastest way to communicate. If they're sitting in a business meeting and they get the text, they'll respond to the text. If it's a phone call, they'll just ignore the phone, put it aside. We get much faster response times, and it's just a great tool.
So how can a dealer deliver that? In today's busy world, the best way is texting, specifically two-way texting through Text-to-Drive. The easiest, most direct, and least expensive way for dealers to get the results they want, from more service and sales appointments to increase CSI and reduced marketing costs.
There was only one person that had been here prior to us using it, and that was Max Gordon. And he just, I didn't want to bother with it. Well, no one really showed him what it did. Now I can't keep the guy off the thing.
It was new technology for me, just one more thing, not new technology, but one more thing to do. One more added screen to have to go to and check. But what I found is that people like the quick information, quick response, quick information, quick updates. So it's worked well that way. What I found is it didn't matter the age. Everybody texts. And so it was a way for them to get information, get update. They want to feel a connection to their vehicle while it's here. They want to feel like somebody cares. So it's been useful that way.
Text-to-Drive isn't just another new technology. It's a huge evolutionary leap in business-to-customer communication.
In the past, before you were using Text-to-Drive, if you had to get a hold of somebody because, say, you need an approval for something.
Yeah, it's difficult sometimes.
Why?
Yeah, well, you're getting voicemail, and then they're calling you back. They can't reach you, and then you're calling them back. Yeah, time is the only thing that we really have here. That's the only commodity.
Have you ever had an instance when, if they had tried to call you, you probably couldn't have answered the phone because you're busy, you're doing things?
Oh yeah, it happens all the time. I think I ignore more phone calls than I take in a day, so I prefer text for sure.
The vision of Text-to-Drive came from three key people, including CEO Greg Owen, who keeps hearing that people from all walks of life, no matter their age, their gender, or their income level, would rather receive and respond to a text than a call or an email. Seems like everyone's texting these days. But that wasn't true back in 2007 when you co-founded the company. So what inspired you then to create Text-to-Drive?
Well, Diane, what happened was in 2007, my son, our partner Chuck, and I were introduced to a communications concept that we felt someday would dominate the manner in which businesses and consumers communicate with each other. Now, this phenomenon had literally captured the attention of young people in droves. Shows like American Idol had literally pioneered this new communication concept, which is text messaging, and it had become an epidemic with young people, the same way the music of the Beatles had become an epidemic with their parents. But in 2007, parents were saying, oh, we're never going to text message. I hate text messaging. And they went on to say things like, this is destroying our ability to communicate. And you know what they also said? It was a fad. Well, you know what? They said the same thing in 1956 about rock and roll and Elvis Presley and Hound Dog. And they said the same thing again in the late 90s when the World Wide Web came out. What was the World Wide Web and web crawling and all this? And again, when Apple released their computers back in the mid-1980s, people said this will never happen. Well, they were all wrong, and they were wrong about text messaging. Text messaging today has become the most widely employed form of communication in the entire world, and it's not going away.
Tell me about the first time you got a text from your car dealership. Did that seem strange?
Well, yes, it did seem strange, but it was helpful, though. Yeah.
In what way?
It's a good reminder, I guess, and for people who are busy, it's better than picking up a phone call and calling you or them calling us. But text is good.
So when you ask, which would you prefer, text, call, or email, what do most people say?
Probably 7 out of 10 is a text.
How much has it changed, and where do you see it going in the future?
It's been progressively going up because, like I said, everybody is texting and using all of that data instead of the phone calls. Probably 8, 9 out of 10 as the years progress, yeah.
Service advisors and customers aren't the only ones who love Text-to-Drive. This simple yet powerful platform is revolutionizing the way dealers, dealer groups, and manufacturers successfully reach potential and existing customers.
Currently, I would say we are reaching our customers at about a 60% penetration because of Text-to-Drive. Customers that might not necessarily read their emails or return phone calls. So it's definitely made a huge improvement on our business.
Text to Drive is a web-based platform that works with the touch of a button and can be personalized with a few clicks of a mouse.
I can go in, I can change the automated text I have going out to suit what's happening or what new features and things we have going on. And it's that easy. I don't have to sit there and text one person at a time. I can pull from our database and just, boom, send it out. I can set parameters for who I want to get those texts. So yeah, it's better than doing my own phone or one at a time, yeah.
If you can text on your phone, you can use Text to Drive.
Real easy. Yeah. It's real simple. You just get on there, punch in the phone number, and send it. It's just that easy.
It took me like an hour or so to just get familiar with it, but it didn't take long at all.
There are a lot of companies that they sell you on these great things, but they don't follow through with customer service. They're not there for you. Once they set the tools, they're out of there. And that's what really sold me with Text to Drive, is that they have this technology, but they're here to support us. They're constantly coming to make sure we're familiar with anything, any new tools that they have.
If they have not been in within the last 90 days, then Text to Drive automatically sends them a message saying, hey, this is Mario from Bob Rorman Schaumburg Ford. We understand, according to our records, you may be due for an oil change. Please text back or call to schedule your next appointment. And a lot of people will respond.
There are other companies out there that are providing texting options, so what makes Text to Drive unlike any other texting program that exists in the marketplace today?
Well, Diane, let me start by saying this. Text to Drive was not created to be an add-on or a throw-in for some other program. Unlike a CRM, Text to Drive is a unique platform that provides dealers the ability to communicate two-way, dual two-way, communicate with their customers in an SMS environment.
Okay, but why do people need that? They have cell phones on them, they can make calls, receive calls.
Well, do you ever hear cell phones ringing anymore? It seems like it's almost become rude to have your cell phone turned on, the ringer on. And if that's the case, how do you know when a dealer is trying to get a hold of you? You don't see the phone call. Voicemail's dead. Who listens to their voicemail today? Very few people. Email. Most, if not all, communications via email that come to a consumer's email account end up in spam. Probably never read. Direct mail, we all know where the post office is going. Nowhere. So what's left? The only thing left is SMS, which is text communication done the right way.
But now I've had other text companies from another, like my Harley dealer sends them, but they're not two-way. One way, and you get a call. This is back and forth, so.
So if you get a one-way text like that you can't reply to, isn't that a little frustrating?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
It's actually been a huge help in our finance department when they need to get a hold of their customers. Hey, we need another piece of documentation for the banks. We try and have like a 14-day term where we're making sure everything's closed up, buttoned up in finance. And we've been able to cut that down from an average of like 14 days to 8 to 10 days, which is huge, and that saves us a lot of money.
But not everyone wants to get a text from a business, and dealers get nervous about people opting out.
There is some people that say to opt me out, that they don't text, but I thought it'd be a lot more, but it's not a lot. Not a lot.
Greg, you've told us at the end of every Text Drive message there's an opt-out disclaimer to comply with the law. But some dealers are still concerned that the Can-Spam Act actually prohibits them from sending these service reminders through text. So how do you know for sure that all of these messages are legal?
Well, the thing that's important to know is Text to Drive has a very distinct advantage over other companies in this industry, and that's their CEO, me, has been an attorney for over 35 years. Now, I've tried over 2,000 cases, and I'm real familiar with how to read the law, understand the law, and comply with the law. Text to Drive has always been in total compliance with the Telephone Consumer Protection Act, which was passed by Congress in 1991 and recently amended on October 16, 2013. Now, the thing that's important is this. The Telephone Consumer Protection Act was all about marketing, whether you call on the phone, send a fax, or send a text message, marketing. Text to Drive is not engaged in marketing. Text to Drive is about providing transactional and informational communications, similar to an airline sending you an alert about a flight being late, or somebody was sending you a recall notice, things like that. Basically, it's information and transactional communication. Your car is ready to pick up. You have an appointment tomorrow. Thank you for coming in. Can you let us know if there's any problems with your car? That's all transactional, informational, and it's not covered by the written consent option or decree within the October 16, 2013 FCC ruling.
Do you find a lot of people opting out?
Funny enough, we don't. I was kind of surprised. I was concerned at first that there would be a lot of people opting out.
Dealers who get with the program are finding out that customers want to be texted when it comes to their cars.
Without a doubt, it's helped increase our CSI, which is the Customer Satisfaction Index for sales, and the CSE, which is the customer service experience in the back, because I can respond quicker because I get their message back and they get my message. So the communication flows quicker that way. So results can be gotten to faster, and the quicker you get to results that are satisfactory for the customer, the better the scores for the survey are.
Dealers can't say enough about the thousands of extra dollars per month from completed service and sales appointments that were generated through Text to Drive.
You definitely saw revenues go up, because if I did not have my 90-day reminding people to come back to us, they would probably go somewhere else.
Sent out the app code for the oil changes, and they gave us reports, and I'm like, holy cow. It's dramatic what it brings. A lot of money coming in for something that's real low in cost. Advertising and reminders. And the customers, they love it. And they like communicating that way.
More than 400 dealers have unlocked the barriers that were blocking them from reaching their true potential. And Text to Drive is ready to share that key with others who have the foresight to move into the fast lane of business-to-customer communication. Greg says don't get left behind and wonder how to survive. Instead, get the power of now with Text to Drive. In Chicago, I'm Diane St. James.